that there was all of these leaked images that were supposedly from the set of Avengers Doomsday. And I feel bad because right now, I think one of the telltale signs that AI is going to ruin everything for everyone is that you're no longer allowed to be excited about anything because there's the possibility that you're going to get duped. Like,
well, and also, you know, from what I've heard and gathered, all those images are fake.
Yeah, all like that. From that, so this is from comicbookmovie.com, and I was just looking for, basically, you have to run it through like a program to test it, and they did this, and it was on like r/MCU theories on the subreddit, and basically all of these leaks have proven to be fake. It's like a synth ID check, and from what I understand here, if you look over at Forbes has like, they said that all of this stuff got removed. So it says, while the slow drumbeat of AI marches on, there are moments that are not slow, gradual progression, but giant leaps forward for better or for worse. Google's new Nano Banana Pro image generation system, which launched this week, is the kind of change that is wreaking havoc online. There are, of course, larger questions about global disinformation. And basically, they pulled all these images down because they checked on all of them, and they're all fake. And I'm going to put a bunch of them up on screen. And the sad part is like, people are going to see them. They're going to be like, oh, this is going to be so awesome. And it's kind of like the early days. Do you remember like 5 years ago when fake trailers really started taking off?
Oh, yeah.
We actually did a video earlier this year about this guy who makes AI trailers where he takes trailer material, he takes behind the scenes stuff, and he supplements it with AI footage. And in the companies like Marvel and them, they used to have them blocked. They just copyright claim it now so they can take the revenue from it.
Yeah. And, you know, the thing that really does suck about these pictures is that a lot of them look so good that you almost want this to be true, right? Like, you almost hope that this is actually real because, honestly, just watching it, I kind of got a little excited because I'm like, oh, you know, if this was actually real, then we're heading into something good. The problem is, though, man, all this is fake. And now Marvel or Disney has now it's on them. Right, to make that movie literally as good as what these fake images are giving us.
Do you have any? Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, people, one of the things they were talking about that I saw people posting about was like, oh, look, it's them in their comic book accurate costumes. What a novel idea, right? And people joke about that, but that's an actual thing, right? Like, originally it would have been Fox. And the creators of Wolverine didn't want to give him the original costume because they thought that it looked silly. But then you look at how people reacted to him putting on the costume in 2024, and it was a huge deal. When we went to see the movie on opening night, I mean, the theater we were in was like a circus when he put his mask on for the first time.
Yeah, and it's something that it's something we've wanted from the beginning, man. And look, Bryan Singer, I give him a lot of credit for at least what he did, but to be honest with you, I never ever liked those costumes.
Yeah,
I always thought that the black leather was stupid. And obviously as a comic book fan, I wanted the original costume, so that's just me. But yeah, to finally see it, you know what, 20 years later, in Deadpool and Wolverine, it was a big deal, you know, especially for us. And again, those fake images are kind of giving us like what we wish we had back when X-Men 1 had it premiered.
And the thing about it is like, so me and you who look at this stuff and read it all day, will know when it's fake, or at the very least, maybe not right offhand, but you have to do enough looking into it to be like, okay, not real. But how many people are going to be going to the movie opening night and be like, where was that image? Like, where was, like, he wasn't in the costume in there. Like, why weren't, like, these two people are supposed to share a screen? I think I saw, like, these images, like these fake ones of Robert Downey Jr., right? Well, this one here, like, if that scene's not in the movie, first of all, you know it's not because it's not entirely green screen, and that's the sad part about it. There was this, I have this thing from Cosmic Book News that's really funny, where it's like, this is how I know it was real, because literally everything in the image is blue screen with tracking dots on it, and that's the way it is. I think my favorite example of this is there was there was a scene, there was a leaked picture from, it wasn't even leaked. I don't remember how it got out. There was a picture of Samuel L. Jackson from Secret Invasion where he's sitting at a table and he's got a gun that just has the frame and the rest of it is tracking dots. And I'm like, bro, what is the world coming to? You can't even have the prop. I'm not even saying it has to be a real fire, like a prop firearm based on a real gun. If you're doing something cosmic, fine, but you can't have the prop department just whip one up. They have to literally put tracking dots on it because then some dude overseas is going to have to make this scene later and likely 6 different versions of it because Marvel's never happy with just one.
Well, it's funny because we were talking about this right before I hopped on this show. I was on Film Thread, and we were talking about the fact that the biggest problem right now with Hollywood in general, man, is that they are spending way too much money, right? They are just like wasting money, man. Not every movie needs to be over $100 million, right?
No.
And when when you bring up this gun, I'm like, it would have been so much cheaper just to make a prop, than to do a CGI gun.
Well, that was what's her name that used to be in charge of like visual effects over there. I forget her name, but like she got fired a couple of years ago because she went and like freelanced and they got pissed at her. I forget her name, but like the workflow at Marvel is obviously one of the problems with it, which is why when Avengers Doomsday went into production, they didn't have a finished script. And one of the funniest things about it was like when they started promoting, when they went into production on Superman, they're like, James Gunn had the script done before they shot. And they were like talking about that. Like that was that was some type of accomplishment. Like in the year of our Lord 2025, just going into principal photography with the actual script done was like an accomplishment when that should be the course of action, right?
Right.
Like,
yeah, and you know what? And Gunn has talked about this a lot when it comes to when he worked at Marvel, man. This isn't anything new. Marvel has done this for a very long time where they'll start shooting without a script. I don't know how you do that, to be honest with you, man. I went to film school. I worked in independent film. I don't know how you shoot something without a script. Like for me, that's insane.
Yeah, I still like the story of when they were making Mission Impossible International or whatever that crappy one was with Hemsworth and what's her name? The girl from I forget her name. But the point being, the movie was so bad that they had their own script writer. Like the actors hired script writers to work on it mid-production.
That you know what? For me. Okay, it's funny when you hear it out loud, but at the same time, it does kind of piss me off a little because I think when you're dropping this kind of money to make a movie, you that is amateur stuff, man. Like that is crazy. That's wild work.
Yeah.
To have a budget, to have a studio film, not have a script ready before the shooting even begins. Like I don't know how a studio functions that way, man. And I don't know if. I mean, obviously, Marvel has a lot of problems. The MCU has a lot of problems. But if you don't have somebody like Gunn, and I think that's the only reason why it worked, is because Gunn was shepherding a lot of the pre-Infinity War stuff. So you had a good guy shepherding this stuff. But now that you don't, and you're still pulling this crap, I don't know how they survive like this, man.
I mean, sort of like how, when Marvel was succeeding in television, it was Jeff Loeb that was doing a lot of that over there. Or even if you want to talk about DC when they were doing television, people can laugh about the corniness of the Arrowverse, but they had to do a lot of work to by the time it was all said and done, and obviously it outlived its time. But I mean, when they're doing a Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover and you have to get these people's schedules all lined up and still manage to do that, that's actually quite an accomplishment to be able to do it across 4 shows all in production at the same time. And I don't know how you do that with a movie like this. And I do think that the lack of Gunn over there. Now I have I liked Superman. Peacemaker is less my cup of tea as I get older. Like the Reddit humor just doesn't land for me the same way that it used to land for me.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like you need that person. They had Greg Berlanti doing everything over there at DC with Guggenheim, and they were kind of pushing everything forward. You need one person to have a singular vision, otherwise you end up as a free-for-all, and I don't want that to be. It feels like they're trying to force through some type of cultural phenomenon for Avengers, when before it was the culmination of three phases worth of stories.
Oh yeah, and by no means am I saying that James Gunn, is uh, the perfect shepherd. The thing about James Gunn is this: I haven't loved everything he's done. I thought Superman was okay. I did not like that last season of Peacemaker. I don't know where his vision of the DCU is going to go, but I will say this: the guy does know his stuff, and he does know his characters. So when he was working at Marvel, there was at least some security in knowing that at the end of the day, even if a script isn't done, this guy knows the characters, he knows the lore. You could trust him to kind of guide this. When you don't have that, man, and let's be really, for real about what's going on right now. That budget for Doomsday, from what I keep hearing, like the numbers keep going up, but I think they're probably at about 700 million right now, and that's being kind of conservative.
Wait,
right?
is that for Doomsday, or is that for Doomsday and Secret Wars?
So that's the thing. I keep hearing different things from my sources. Like I'm hearing that. Okay, for both movies combined, it's probably it's going to be $1 billion, but okay. Yeah, it's wild work, man. And I wish I can get more like definite answers, but they're keeping it so close to the chest on this one. Like even my sources can't even give me all the information they would usually give me about other movies that they've done. So they're protecting this with all their heart, which I understand you have to, but the budget keeps going up. Every time I hear a new number, it's like higher and higher. So I don't know what's going to happen here.
They're also probably not going to give you an accurate budget afterwards. Anyways, I was doing a video earlier. I was planning a segment for like the end of the year box office and all this stuff, and it was talking about all of the movies that have succeeded this year, along with the ones that could have succeeded if they didn't have such bloated budgets. And they listed the $180 million budget for Captain America: Brave New World. And nobody with half a brain believes that that's what it costs to make that movie, given its tumultuous production.
Absolutely not. I guarantee you, base, maybe I say bottom number, maybe 350. Yeah. Like there's no way it was only 180 mil to make that movie.
Is there anything that you've seen that has given you like something to look forward to with Doomsday, or are you more on the fence about it?
Man, to be honest with you, it's weird. Like I'm going in. Look, I go into every movie with an open mind, and my excitement level varies depending on what I see. But I, in a way, just kind of I just want them to wrap it up. I feel like this is like I really do. Like, I really feel like Secret Wars. I feel like Secret Wars, and I said this on other shows, I think Secret Wars is going to be the jumping off point for a lot of people when it comes to the MCU. I think they just want to see how the story ends. I wish it was, better circumstances than that. Like, I wish I was excited about the future for the MCU. But I will say this. I do think Doomsday will be entertaining. I just don't know on what level. Entertainingly bad, like Madam Web, or or just good, entertainingly good.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on entertainingly good. Like comparing it to Sony Marvel is like a whole nother thing. And I joke all the time. I was like, I love Madam Web. Like I'll watch that any day of the week. But I'm one of those guys who loves movies that are so bad they're good. That's never bothered me.
I will justify Madam Web to the day I die. I think I remember I watched that movie, and I was a little baked, but I could not stop laughing through the whole film. So I love Madam Web.
The thing is, like, for me, like, spectacle is oftentimes it's enough. Like the only time in the last couple of years, like there were a couple of movies that I didn't like, and most of the time I found that just the ability to go to the theaters and sit there is enough for me to leave with a fairly positive experience. I always say, like, the only aberrations were like we left Wonka and I just didn't like it. I'm like, but I could have just been in a bad mood that day, could have just forgot to eat before we got there. And I hated the Crow reboot because I'm such a fan of the original, because I think it completely ignored the message of the original film. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, I had to know the lore of that movie and feel deeply connected to it. But we don't live in an age now where the majority of the audience has that deep connection to the source material. So you put enough flashing lights on screen and you bring back Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans, and it's usually enough most of the time.
You know what? I would normally agree with that, man. But I think because of their lack of success over the past couple of years with their movies and TV shows, I think it takes more than that. I think people are going to need a bigger reason to go, see this movie. Now, you did mention Chris Hemsworth.
No, the point was to mention that they're bringing back the old stars. They have not been able to prove themselves to do it with new characters.
Exactly. So yeah, bringing back RDJ, bringing back Hemsworth, bringing back potentially Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
This will probably bring asses to seats for sure. But here's the thing: I still don't know the excitement level of most people. Like I can't gauge it at all.
The only thing that I've seen that people have been genuinely excited for, like where like I heard people talking about it outside of it, was like people were excited about Moana 2, and where I heard normal people talking about Moana 2, and they seemed excited about that. But other than that, like my gauge is like when I go to a doctor. Or like I was at the dentist and I was like, I brought up Captain America: Brave New World. They're like, oh, they're making another one? And I was like, yeah, like that's kind of what it is, right? Like to the normies, they don't know that's going on. And then she was even more shocked when she found out that it wasn't Chris Evans. She's like, how can they do that? Didn't he die at the end of the last one? I'm like, yeah, but don't worry about it. It was in the comics. I was like, I don't know why they didn't make a Falcon movie, but they should have just made a Falcon movie.
Yeah, I think normies. Here's the thing, man. I really do, in my heart of hearts, I do believe that normies are probably going to like Doomsday. Like I really do.
Yeah.
I think it's going to land for sure. For us though, I don't know at all.
It's
like
so hard.
I hope it's good. Yeah. That's all I can say is that I hope it's good.
Yeah, it's just really hard. Well, like I've actually found that like the more I do this, the more disillusioned I get with that part of it. Like the movies I end up liking are the ones I had no expectations for in the first place. F1 was my favorite movie of the year this year.
Movie of the year,
Gran Turismo in 2023. I loved Gran Turismo. I loved Twisters when it came out because I had no expectations for it to be anything other than just a movie, and then they turned out exceeding my expectations. Very rarely do the movies that I'm like going into like, okay, this one's going to be what it's all like. It just doesn't work that way for me.
Yeah, I mean, my three favorite movies this year have been F1, Sinners, and Weapons.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, all three of them were movies I had no idea I would even care for it, like whatsoever. So that was a nice surprise. And the movies that I thought would do better, like Fantastic Four, tanked really hard. So, well, I don't want to say tanked. It just endorsed well as expected.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.